Hello, friends. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Hanky Law. Hanky Law likes solving your problems when they happen, but loves anticipating them so they don't. They provide real people with real solutions to help get your life moving forward. Hanky Law provides criminal defense, family law, personal injury, and civil law. Listen, the legal system can be intimidating and scary. If you find yourself in the legal system, it's important to have lawyers who can explain the process, navigate the legal system, and protect your rights. Hanky Law's experienced attorneys use their knowledge to skillfully defend their clients. Maybe your family is needing representation during a stressful or emotional event. Hanky Law can help. Hanky Law is comprised of Blake and Kelsey Hanky with a family of their own, so you can trust they understand the value of keeping the best interests of you, your finances, your future, and the long-term interests of your children in mind. If you are needing legal help in North Dakota or Minnesota, go to hankyjustice.com or call 701-746-4529. Hanky Law, counselors and attorneys at law. I can't hear any of you, so I don't think any of you really care. Today, I'm just going to play this game, really. There's really not much that I want to talk about at the moment. Kind of disappointed in some news I just received, and I I'll release that news tomorrow while you're all listening to this, because today is Wednesday for me, so I'll talk about that tomorrow, but it's kind of been pretty much a bummer. So what I've been doing really is just playing this game that I've been playing for like 20 years, and it's literally, like, I'm not talking theoretically a game, I'm like physically, if you're watching, you can see that I'm playing a game, I have it on the screen, but like, if you're listening, you're probably not going to notice that I'm doing this, but it seems 2021 is going to be exactly the same as 2020 at this point. I mean, it's almost halfway through February. Like 3 days, it'll be halfway through, and everything's still kind of locked down. And the new president, is just kind of walking back everything that he said he would do in his campaign, which is like, of course he did. I'm not shocked, but it's disappointing still. Otherwise, what else is new? Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Not much. There's really not much going on. I guess Dave Chappelle got COVID-19, so that kind of sucks. Hope he's doing well. I wish I had more to talk about. That's kind of the thing with making sure that I talk every week into a podcast. Sometimes I run out of things to talk about, and then you'll just have to listen to me ramble for a couple minutes. Outside of political events, what's in the world? Elon Musk is doing some dope stuff, because when isn't Elon doing some good stuff? He just said that he'd give $100 million to whoever does the best carbon capture technology. So that's neat. It's like a new project, or what is it? Is it the X project? Not Project X with the movie. X project, which is like what Spaceship One did when they were the first private company to go to space. So it'll be cool to see what they do. The requirement is that it's scalable to gigaton. So it's supposed to be huge, and it's just it can be either water or atmosphere or both. I think people are ready to just kind of stop listening to all like the big assholes and try to be like, well, it's actually not that big of a problem if you look at it. Yeah, it is that big of a problem. We're living in the same world you are, asswipe. We see it. And not even living in the same world, because they live in like a real sheltered, dandy world with money and a beautiful resort that they live on and all that other shit. They don't really see the shit that their policies do to like inner cities. And I mean, I technically live in an inner city right now. That's why there's bars over my windows. So, you don't really know that when you first move to a place, but it's cheap. Didn't really think twice about it. I was like, oh, it's cheap. I'll take it, sure. And then I took it. And then when I came to move in, I was like, ooh, yeah, that's, yep, yep. We had some serious crime the first night that I was here. We had some domestic abuse next door, to say the least. Um, so it was interesting. It was interesting for a while to live here. I just finished up that podcast I launched today with my cousin. Another episode of Better Life where we just ramble and talk. And honestly, I fucking love doing that podcast. He's my cousin, but he's also one of my best friends. We've been best friends since we were kids, and I think the part of the good thing about it is like we could only see each other like a couple times a year, so it made it all the much more better. And now that the world is like all strict communication, you can always talk all the time. It's just fucking awesome. A lot of people are afraid of where technology is taking us, and I try not to be. There are things that you can use technology wrong for. You can use anything wrong. You can use a gun for self-defense, but you can also use a gun to shoot up a school. One is self-defense is great. Shooting up a school, fucking awful. It's you can't really. It's like right now in North Dakota, all of my friends from there, like, because they're debating the legalization of marijuana up there, and they're debating like, oh well, look at all there's statistics here that moms have smoked marijuana while they were pregnant, so it shouldn't be legal. And things like, well, there's also evidence of moms doing fucking or drinking an unbelievable amount while they're pregnant, or smoking a lot, like cigarettes while they're pregnant. So it's tough to. How can you make something illegal because of a potentially bad thing someone does? It's not. So when it comes to computers and AI and all this other stuff, AI might actually help us one day, and it does help us. Right now it's helping us. The supercomputers crunching numbers on climate control and data, and trying to get everything back to the way. Whether you believe in climate change or not, it is getting warmer out. Period. Like that. Whether I don't think anyone really questions climate change at all. Whether or not people are causing it, and it's whether or not like there's anything we can do about it. Well, let me take a drink before I go on. Sorry you had to hear that. Whether we did it or not, it doesn't change the fact that the planet's warming up and we won't be able to inhabit it. So either way, it's worth a shot to try to fucking. It's at least worth a shot, right? I mean, Elon's already planning on Plan B. Let's get to Mars. Let's get the hell out of here. He's already working on that just in case. But I think while we have Earth, and this planet is beautiful, man. We have a beautiful, gorgeous planet. It really is absolutely beautiful. I mean, go outside and just look around for a while. I know everyone's been locked indoors forever, but like, it's beautiful out there. The world really is a gorgeous place, and we got to clean it up. We can't have all this trash in the ocean. We can't have all this. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people, like my friends in the Midwest and stuff back home, like when we were up there, for a while I was like, what are you guys talking about? But then I moved to like a bigger city, and dude, I'm telling you, when people get together, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. A big city is just a teenager's bedroom. It smells like shit. It's dirty. There's like dirty dishes that should have been taken to the kitchen 14 days ago but haven't. There's all these things that we can do to clean it up and make it look great again. And pretending that it's not a problem is not going to work. It's just, we can't be doing that, guys. We got to grow up a little bit and recognize that we do have awesome technology. I mean, we have some of the coolest stuff ever, but we're all worrying about if we can get plastic out of the ocean, and if we should, and even if we should be, like, yeah, we should be, okay. And I don't know who I'm talking to that wouldn't agree with this at the moment, because most of my fan base is like 20s, 30s, and 40s, and like, even I guess some 40-year-olds aren't a huge fan of the newer ideas, and some whatever, but still, I just pray for better days, man. I pray for better days. What is good is that Bitcoin was up over 47,000 for a while, over 48,000 for a while, I think. It's back down to 45 at the moment. It's like hovering just above and below 45. It kind of goes up and down. But, dude, $45,000 a little, like, steady for Bitcoin, that's dope. That's awesome. It made me, like, not a whole lot of money because I don't have that much invested in it anymore. But, I really should have just kept it. I really should have. I spent it because I needed to pay rent, so I took out my money on it and paid rent. So, you got to take some chances with life sometimes and do things that you wouldn't normally want to do, and that's one of those things. I don't really want to get rid of it, but what choice do I fucking have? You have to do it. So, anyway, it's cool. Like Dogecoin is what Elon's pumping up because the GameStop trend, everyone really locked it down. But there's nothing you can do to lock down crypto. So we're just gonna send Dogecoin to the moon because it's a huge joke and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And I think it's hilarious, personally. I do. It's this problem didn't create itself. This problem was created when Reagan allowed businesses to buy back stocks and Clinton allowed money to make money. That those two presidents single-handedly. And by the way, if you haven't been paying attention, one of them's a Republican, the other one's a Democrat. They both ruined your fucking life. So stop trusting either of them because they're both poisonous for you. It's great. You're welcome for that thought. I don't mean to be so, I don't know what the term is for what I'm being. Oops. Let me just play some music again while I'm at it. Sorry about that. I don't think I'm being dramatic. I just think I think while you're sitting and not doing a whole lot, it can get that way. I mean, I do tentatively have a job offer, so that would be cool. Because honestly, there's just not a whole lot of gigs right now, so I'm gonna have to take a job to get by until comedy picks up again. But fear not, comedy is and always will be my number one priority. Always, no matter what, I will always be a comedian first, and that's just the way it's gonna be. So, for everyone who is wondering what game I'm playing, this is a game I've been playing since I was 7 years old. It's called RuneScape. I've been playing it for almost 20 years now, and it's changed a lot. Most of my friends played it growing up, so they know exactly what I'm talking about. But I love the game still. I have this other person in here who's almost as old as I am, and so it's cool to just kind of keep logging in and keep working on them. It's kind of the same way you kind of keep working on yourself, and I have some downtime. And not that I really have downtime at the moment. I'm recording this podcast, and I've got one more to go after this. But stressed out, and I really just don't seem to care at the moment. And I really don't think any of my fans would care if I do this either. All 500 of you who are listening to the show. It's not even that many. So, I hope everyone is having a great pandemic. We can almost celebrate every year because we're coming up on the 1 year of the 2-week lockdown. Coming up in March here. It'll be the 1 year anniversary of the 2 weeks. So hopefully this 2-week lockdown is over soon. You know what? I'm probably not going to drag this on forever and ever. I'll keep this show pretty short this week. There's just been a lot on my mind, and it's kind of hard to stay funny when, everyone, you're a comedian, you're supposed to make me funny, laugh right now, I'm still a person, and the shit around me still affects me, the world around me doesn't just, I don't see any of that because I'm a comedian. No, I still feel the effects of the strain of what's going on in the world around us, and I don't think there's anyone who can say they aren't, unless you're a big comedian, like Rogan or something with $1 million. Well, he has way more, but, people who are still trying to make it, it's fucking tough right now, especially because you can't even go to the fucking comedy club, you can't even try, and that's the thing. There was a difference before where everyone kind of knew that it was gonna be tough to make it. Right now, you can't even try to make it, and that's probably, I'm moving away from Vegas at some point here. The city's just kind of getting. You can't shut it down like this forever, man. You just fucking can't. I'll just say what the bad news is because this comes out tomorrow. Fucking A. My pay-per-view event got postponed to April 17th. And, it's fucking soul-crushing, dude. This is my fucking life. This is my income, fam. For the state to constantly be stepping in and making it so impossible to work unless you do exactly what they want you to do. It's gross. To even pretend that we live in a free market society is disgusting at this point, because we fucking don't. We don't. We live in a government-controlled society, period. Period. We don't have say in what happens anymore. A bill, whether it has 100% of support of the American people or 0%, has a 20% chance of become law no matter what happens. Any bill that hits Congress has a 20% chance of passing into law. I mean, what kind of Congress is that? Presidents was selling pardons for $6 million a piece. What kind of executive office is that? Our Supreme Court is stacked. What kind of court is that? At the federal level, our government is a failure. And all of this happened because we ignored the 10th Amendment completely, which states that anything not listed in the Constitution is left up to the states. Which, unless you can remember the last time the Constitution was like, and then we want the ATF to be developed. Like, unless that happened, didn't happen. So, you can't just keep saying, well, we're reorganizing the executive branch. Okay, you can reorganize it to the standards of the Constitution. And that's just not what's happening anymore. The governments our federal government's really fucking overstepping their boundaries. And it's bothering me. As it should bother all of you. But, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm obviously just being a Debbie Downer here. I'm being a Debbie Downer, and I'm making everyone sad. So I'll just chill out with all the shit, and you know what? We'll listen to the music again as we go out. So thanks everyone for listening. My name is Jake Ryder, and I will see you next week.